Okay.
I am here in St Ives with a very special judoka. Sensei, would you mind telling the viewers exactly who you are?
Yeah, so I'm Neil Adams, and I am the former world champion and 2 times Olympic silver medalist, and I was also European champion as well. And I am presently the national coach for Belgium, but I was national coach for the GB for Great Britain for 10 years.
Now the most important question to ask is, how old were you when you first started judo?
I was 7 when I started. So I was 7 years of age when I started. So my father took me along to a little club and he wanted me to do judo. And he wanted me to do a fighting sport, because I did football, I did soccer, gymnastics a little bit, and but he wanted me to do something where I was defending myself. So that's when I started, 7 years of age, in a little club in Rugby, which is in the Midlands. Yeah, and then a year later, he took me along to this club which was a bit bigger at Coventry, and that's where it all started.
Where did you start? Why judo? Where did you start?
I think I just answered that. I started in Rugby, and then it went from Rugby to Coventry, and then when I was 16 I moved down to London, because that was where we had to train to be Olympic champion or to world champion or whatever.
Why judo?
Why judo? Yeah, I think because at the beginning, I think my father wanted me to have a variation of different sports. So like for my daughters, for example, now, one of them's 8, one of them's 10, right, and my son now is 26. Right, but when he was small, I wanted him to do a lot of different sports. So he did rugby, he did judo, he did a bit of gymnastics, he did a bit of everything really, soccer. And my daughters, they do dance, they do gymnastics, they do judo. Yeah, so he wanted me to do something that was a fighting sport. So then we could see, I mean, I was better at judo than I was at anything else. So that was kind of my direction. So that's why I took it up more seriously. When I was 16, I wanted to become the very best. All right, I thought I could be. So I dropped all the other sports and just carried on with judo.
How many Olympics have you competed in?
I've competed in 3 Olympics, although I was first reserved for 1976 Olympic Games as well. So I almost went to those, but I was a little bit too young. I was just 17, but they wanted to take me, and it was very close. But anyway, I trained up for that, so I was part of that. And then I went to 1980 Olympics in Moscow, 1984 in Los Angeles, and then Seoul Olympics in Korea in 1988.
At which Olympics did you win your first medal at?
1980 Olympics. So the first medal I won, I got a silver medal in 1980, I got a silver medal in 1984, but I was favourite for both of them. But the Olympics is it's a strange event, in as that it's an event like no other judo event. So you can be the best in the world, and I was favourite and best in the world at the time, but it never went my way in the finals, both of the finals.
Which was your most memorable Olympics and why?
I think the 2000 Olympics was my most memorable, because that's where I met my wife. See, but they're not for judo purposes. But we've got to edit that out. You see, probably have to edit that out. But that was my most memorable for the best thing that happened to me, I guess. And the most memorable was 1984 Olympics, as far as my competition was concerned, because at 1980 and 84 I should have won it really, and I lost on a split decision in 1980, and then I lost because I made a mistake in 1984. So I never forget that. It's always on my mind.
When did you know you wanted to go to the Olympics?
I knew, I think in 1975, 1976, I was trying to go to the 1976 Olympic Games, and I knew then that I had a really good chance of going to the Olympics and to doing well, because I had a match with the world and Olympic champion when I was just 17, and I fought him really, really close. We had a really close match, so I knew that I had the ability. So it kind of started early.
When did you first realise you were good enough to compete in the Olympics?
Same answer. I think about 1975, 76. Especially after this match with a guy called Vladimir Nevzorov, who was world and Olympic champion at the time. 1976 is the answer.
What is special about the Olympics compared to the World or European Championships?
The Olympic Games is the most different event that anybody, so like for example you can fight in the European Championships and the World Championships, you can fight the same people, but the Olympic Games is totally different. And what makes it a little bit different is that it's a Games as opposed to a Championships. That means that a lot of people compete in different sports and for the same title, so it's not just judo. And what makes it so different is because it's every 4 years, everybody wants to focus on this one event in 4 years. So you've got to focus on this one championships every 4 years, and it makes it really difficult. And actually some people do really well because it's the Olympic Games, and other people do really badly. It's a bit of a strange one, and you don't know which way it's going to go. It's a bit strange. So when they say that the Olympics is a different event, that's what they mean.
What are your favourite techniques?
My favourite techniques are Tai Toshi and Uchimata for standing, and for groundwork, Juji Gatami and Sangaku Jimmy.
What do you think the prospects are for any British medalists at this year's Olympics?
It's a difficult one because the qualification for the Olympics has been very, very difficult. I think we might have a couple of chances in there. Ewan Burton has got a chance of a medal. Without putting pressure on any of the others, I think we've probably got a couple in there, ladies, that have got chances as well. But it's going to be very, very hard for anybody to get a medal at this Olympic Games from Britain. And I think that they'll need an element of luck, because you always need that element of luck.
What tips can you give to young judokas who are hoping to reach the same levels as you have?
The tip I can give, the biggest tip, is that go to a good club, first of all. Make sure that you've got a good sensei that's going to lay a really good foundation, technical foundation for you. Because having good technique is paramount important, most important. So once you've got good technique, then you build on your condition. You make sure that you've got really good condition. But anybody can be fit, but not everybody can get good technique. So it's very important that you have good technique first, then good condition, and then you can develop then into a good competition judoka.
Mention to our club that you had agreed to this interview. Our members were very excited and have a few questions they would like answering.
Okay, I'll try my best.
Reese, age 5.
This is for Reese.
This is for Reese, yeah.
Why do you have to slam hard?
Why do I have to slam hard or train hard?
I think Reese is trying to ask how and why do you get the power into your techniques, I think.
Well, you know what, we did that today. We were trying to, the thing is about any kind of technique, it has a lot of ingredients, and all of those ingredients have to work together. So for example, all right, your dad will be able to tell you this because we did it earlier, right? What happens is, if your feet work without your hands, right, then the body doesn't get brought into the equation. So you have to, when you're operating a technique, you have to try and get the feet and the hands and the whole body working in the same direction that you want the throw to go. And that's where you get the power. And the best way I can kind of explain that to you is, if, for example, if you've seen anybody trying to hit a punch bag, right, thump a punch bag, what happens is, the ones that can get the real power behind it are the ones that coordinate the fist, and their body, and their hips, and their legs, all going in the same direction at the same time. And if you get it all working in the same direction at the same time, that's what generates power. Hope that's okay for you, Reese.
Jacob, age 8, asked that, what grade were you when you first entered the Olympics?
I was a 5th degree black belt when I first went to the Olympic Games. Yeah, I think 1980, was I 5th? No, probably I wasn't. Probably 3rd. I was a 3rd degree. Because I went to the Olympics and then I got awarded my 4th degree. And then when I won the World Championships a year later, I got awarded my 5th. 3rd.
And finally, with all you have achieved, so for what inspires you to continue to give to judo?
I think what inspires me is to watch how people develop and to get people to improve. Now, as a coach, I like people to improve. As a competitor, I always wanted to be the best. And I knew that if I trained hard, right, and I worked hard, then I could be the best. So the answer to that question is that you only get what you put in. Yeah? And you know, there's a saying, we have a saying that there's no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs. All right? And so that's a good one to remember, because what happens is, if you take it step by step and you build base, right, then you have a good chance of reaching it. But you have to put in hard work. It's all about hard work. Okay? It's been my pleasure.
Thank you, Sensei.
It's a pleasure. Okay, thank you very much.